We're here with Luis Hernandez Jr., the CEO of Grass Valley. How are you, Luis?
Doing great, Victor. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you for receiving me here in NAB 2023. This is a very special year with the 100th anniversary of NAB show, and Grass Valley is a big part of this celebration with more than 60 years already, right?
Absolutely. I think also I'm proud to say that during the COVID, we continue to support these programs because I think you have to support the communities that served you and have supported us. So we're proud to be here. We're one of the largest vendors again, have a lot of people here supporting our community, and we're really excited about all the announcements.
You personally have more than almost 3 decades of the media entertainment business already, right?
I started my first company, startup in the mid 90s, and it was in the media and content space. So yeah, you're making me feel old, reminding me how, which has been happening a lot lately, but it's strange when your friends are retiring already. It's like, what happened, But yes, it's been a long time and so much has changed, and yet so much has stayed the same. Storage is still very powerful. It connects us, and technologies continue to play a larger and larger role. So it's been fun, and when I think back at all the changes, it's been incredible. But at the same time, we've been dealing with the same type of issues, just different iterations. So it's been fun and interesting, and glad to be here again here at NAB and see it back and strong again.
What is the importance of NAB show for Grass Valley? Talking specifically about GV, because GV has so many players, so many companies involved in this GV facility right now, and even with GV Alliance already with the open vendors.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because at Grass Valley, we've modified our views of major shows. These are really just stops on a regional annual show we do. We stop all around the world now continuously. We feel we have to engage more uniquely, more intimately, more frequently with our key clients. So we've adopted this kind of continuous roadshow, and these are stops on the roadshow. The reason the big shows are important is, like you've seen here today, Grass Valley Media Universe is the most open ecosystem and most advanced cloud-native application in the world. It can also run on-prem, which we announced here today at the show. And the fact that we have so many alliance partners here, I think, Victor, shows how committed to openness and flexibility. So that's what this show is really about. Not only are we number 1 or 2 in every category, and we're a very broad set of products, but the fact that we have so many of our alliance partners and system integrators in our booth with us demonstrates how open and flexible, and we're really just trying to lead this industry with an integrated system that will drive down the cost for all of us. And as you know, we're making it available to everybody. Anybody can use AMP. We spent almost $200 million on it, and we're making it available to everybody.
How's the feedback of the market using AMPP solutions?
It's funny. It's been incredibly strong, but it's not because people wake up and say, hey, I want to change everything about what I do. It's the economic realities that are happening to our industry, which are driving 2 main issues. How do I reduce the cost of production dramatically? And how do I find new revenue streams while protecting my asset, the files? And so, I think as the asset becomes more digital, the consumption, it collapses the workflow, it changes the economics. Every major media company is dealing with this. That's where they're all transforming, laying off, cutting costs, reoriented where they spend and how they spend. And with Grass Valley Media Universe, it's designed to let everybody compress the ecosystem, share common services, and focus on what they do best and what makes them unique. It's also designed to be very flexible so that you can adopt hardware, integrated solutions, third-party apps, our apps, all on this integrated solutions, less expensively, easier to use, and adapt in a way that meets your individual needs. We, Victor, deal with some of the largest media companies in the world. And you've seen Canal Plus with their Studio of the Future, centerpiece is AMP, reducing their footprint almost 70% and increasing their content production almost 10 times. Huge success with AMP feature. We're very proud of that. Sky's using it for some of their major sports. Eurosport adopted it for some of their major activities as well. Just had a major announcement with CBS Sports. It's a really exciting time because I think key and large media companies are thinking less about the technology and more about who's the partner you can trust for the long term. who has the wherewithal to invest for the long term, who understands your problems and has enough breadth and depth to spend in order to solve it. And that's why I think you're seeing, our growth rates really starting to accelerate. And the fact that we have flexibility, still have all the hardware they're used to using, but now have IP only versions so you can pick and choose. We have a cloud native application built from scratch, but now we just stuck that in a box if you feel more comfortable starting with it on-prem, and then you can pop out to the cloud when you want. It's really been fun to see our clients adopt it at scale. And I think we're in AMP in particular, I don't believe any other product in the world touches where we are from a scalability, from a viability, from a credibility perspective. So it's been really fun.
Mm-hmm. Talking about the GVX, you bring a big council, and this year you announced the double of attendees in GVX council. How this is working today in Grass Valley for this exchange of experience?
I just feel like, Victor, that now more than ever, you really have to partner with your clients. So much is changing. They're seeing changes and making adjustments that they've never gone through. And I feel like you have to work more closely, more intimately. And so GVX was designed initially for the 15 of the most well-recognized, innovative media companies in the world. They voted to double the size, so now we have 30. And if you walk in that room, it's basically the who's who of the industry. Mm-hmm. And we use it to really get guidance. In fact, the meetings we had this week were for our 2024 development plan. So they were getting insights and giving us feedback on what they need, collaborating with us, having discussions about how to reduce the TCO of the cloud and make it more predictable. How do you add cybersecurity elements? How do we add modules and apps that are going to increase revenue for my clients? So this is amazing that they're willing to spend so much time. And I really think it's chaired by Del Parks from Sinclair and ABC News as well as the co-chair. But it has really every major media company in the room. It's really fun because you see and hear all their challenges, their ideas, their lessons learned, and we try to incorporate that into what we build as a company. We spend a lot of money every year. This shows a demonstration from new cameras to the on-prem version of AMP to around 100 native applications, alliance partners, across the suite, a lot of announcements. So the more we can hear directly from the people using our products and incorporate that into what we're building, the better off we all are as an industry, not just Grass Valley, but everybody.
Mm-hmm. The open strategy was really clever because you have a very big portfolio, but it's not the full solution. So it was a good way to keep track of end-to-end solutions.
That's right. I mean, the openness is important because if we limit the choices our clients have, we're not a very good partner. Mm-hmm. So it's no different than the iOS on the device you're using now. Apple's iOS is connected to devices like the phone, like a PC, but it also has apps that they've created, third-party apps. And it's really up to the user to decide how and when they want to deploy which technologies the way they'd like to. So it's a very similar concept. It's just enterprise hardened at scale. And we spent 7-8 years building it, spent almost $200 million, and we're making it available for anybody to use and take advantage of.
Mm-hmm. Last NAB show the trends was cloud computing and also remote production. This year is artificial intelligence and machine learning. How do you see the AI impact in our media world for the near future?
Well, I think it's going to be pretty dramatic. If you think about the two pressure points of yield per asset, which is the problem that clients have, large media companies, the yield or how much you make off each asset created has dropped significantly because there's such a proliferation and a bifurcation of viewership. So that leaves you with, how do you save money? How do you increase revenue? AI, machine learning could be applied to both of those problems. So the more you know about the person, their viewership styles, their consumption patterns, the more you can do dynamic ad insertion. Watching this, you could see a different tie or a different logo or lapel based on your profile, and that's just more revenue for the creator, in this case you, Victor. And to the extent it could predict or automate steps that would have been done manually, it lowers your production costs. So I think it's going to be a very powerful tool. I know there's going to be a lot of debates about its applicability, its use, its value, the human impact, the social impact. But remember, I'm a technologist. I've been technology my entire career. This debate has been raging since I started, over 25 years ago. So there's always a debate about the adoption curve of technology, about whether or not it's hurting or helping. In our case, technology has made storytelling easier. It's made it more available to more people. It's increased consumption. It's also allowed bad people to get together and do bad things, and it's allowed good people to get together and inspire faster. And so AI, I think, will have a similar reflection of who we are as a society. In the business case, I think it will drive down costs and look for new revenue streams. And I'm sure it will also be used to be disruptive to our industry. And that'll be something for all of us to shape. We all have a responsibility as a community to decide how and where to deploy new technologies like AI and machine learning. We're already testing a lot of AI within the Grass Valley suite, seeing how it can be applied to automate steps, to simplify, to decrease training, to reduce production costs. I think we'll be thinking about how to increase revenue as well, like I mentioned.
For sure. You are the CEO of a global company, and you have a big responsibility. What advice you can give us about leadership and time management? How do you handle this?
Ooh, that's a big one. Victor, throw me a curveball here. Time management and leadership. Well, on leadership, I'm an entrepreneur at heart. And so if you've ever started anything, fellow entrepreneurs understand the power of working hard, of committing, of being lonely, and the joy of building something you believe in. And that's what drives me mostly. In terms of leadership, I think it's important to be clear about who you are, who you want to become, what you're willing to commit, become that person, and committing to a cause. Whatever your cause is, you have to commit to it. And I think I hate to say, this overused phrase about do what you love doing, because I think some people interpret that as wait until what you love doing falls in your lap. But the reality is, if you work really hard at something, apply a lot of pressure, the only way you continue doing it is if you enjoy doing it, because it's just too much. And I find that with leadership and with being an entrepreneur. And once you find something you're really passionate about, just never give up. Never give up. And that's more from an entrepreneurial perspective, because that's how I grew up. All these companies like Grass Valley that I've been involved with, this is a journey that we're on to lead an industry we care about, an industry that is provided for my family, an industry where I have lifelong friends, industry that is important to society. And what more inspiration do you need than that?
That's true. And time management.
Time management is, I don't have a great sense of advice. As an athlete when I was younger, and as a business professional, I tell people that most successful people that I know are imbalanced. So this notion of a balanced life is skewed. If balance means equal time for all things, and it's hard to be most successful people, like an athlete, spend most of their time on fewer things. So you end up giving up things and determining what's really important. Once you know what's important, in my case, try and stay healthy, see my family, and then I just build Grass Valley. That's it. And so it makes it easier to manage my time because I'm doing fewer things. I don't have any other hobbies. This is what I do. And so I find that within that construct, you just have to make sure you take care of yourself. And that's makes it a simple life. It's not a tough equation. Make sure my family's happy, that I'm healthy and happy, and that the Grass Valley is growing and serving the community.
Okay, that's perfect for me. Luis, thank you. It's always a pleasure to speak with you.
Victor, it's great to see you. I hope to see you again soon.
For sure. Thank you.